Food. Man, it looks so good. And one day I'm gonna make that. Well, I keep telling myself that, but when am I actually gonna make it?
Boom.
I have a problem. Well, actually, I have a lot of problems. Okay, but there's one main problem that I've been going through for so long, and I don't know how much longer I can take it. Every time, without fail, whenever I'm doing some kind of work, I see a YouTube video with some good-looking food, and without thinking, I click. Every single time. If I added up all the time I spent watching these short doses of dopamine, I could probably have spent that time doing something productive. But nah, instead, I'm sitting on my chair, or my bed, or my toilet, or my Tyrannosaurus Rex, watching some random person make some food that I'll probably never make or eat in my life. It's basically an addiction that's only been made worse ever since YouTube allowed shorts to be up to 3 minutes long. Brother, they're supposed to be shorts, not longs. Instead of, I don't know, getting help or doing something to resolve this issue, I decided that it would be a better use of my time to talk about the various different types of food content on YouTube, mainly shorts. But we're going to be covering as much types of food content on YouTube because I'm tired of not doing anything about this huge blob of information residing in my head. So come dine with me as I take you on a culinary journey filled with delicious golden brown fried chicken and tempered chocolate, with a side of heart failure and diabetes. The first type of content I want to talk about are the food review content, and that has its own subset of categories. We got the people in their car eating food and reviewing it. Some are really good at this and even give proper measurements to see which deal is really the better one. Shout out to my homeboy Shopo Show. I'm sure I mispronounced that name, but either way, shout out to him. Ah yes, my favorite Portuguese food reviewer. On one hand, we have people who actually do food reviews. On the other, it's people simply eating food in their car without, well, reviewing anything. And if they do, then they're not really good at their job. I've watched too many reviews where the guy, well usually a guy, eats the food and he gives barely any feedback or just gives an inaccurate score. I literally saw some dude dig into some chicken wings from Pizza Hut, and you can tell from the way he was eating that he was enjoying them. He was having such a good time. He was having a ball. And that made me think, oh okay, so he's gonna give them a 7 or 8 out of 10, right?
Give those a 5.7 out of 10.
5.7 out of 10. Oh no man, you called pizza average and gave them a 5, so score-wise, the wings are only barely better than the pizza, but by the way you were eating the wings, they looked way better than a 5.7. Actually, by the way he was eating any of his food, everything looked like it should have been higher than 5.7 out of 10. Like what is a 10 out of 10 to this man? Because I don't even think a filet mignon would be that high. If he got his hands on one of those, because we know he wouldn't be using a fork and knife, he'd probably give it like a 7.8 out of 10 or something. It just feels like people are simply looking for an excuse to eat fast food for the 5th day in the week and film it so they can get a slice of fame. A slice of that famed pizza pie, with each preceding slice getting thinner and thinner. And while we're talking about food reviewers, let's talk about the fellas who eat their food in the messiest ways imaginable. I'm talking about those who are pretty much doing it on purpose. And we're not talking about the ASMR bunch. I feel like that's deviating a little too far from the subject of this video. Their main focus is satisfaction and noise, not food. However, I bring them up to say that they can get messy with their food too. Like, dog, the food ain't going nowhere. My dad always tells me that I should slow down when I eat food, and that I should enjoy eating it, instead of just mauling through without a second thought. So I'm always wary of how I eat. So when I see people eating like this, I'm just like, so this is how people see me when I eat, isn't it? No hate to Tommy Winkler, the guy I used footage for, or anybody mentioned in this video, but hey, you could chill a little bit with your food, cause it ain't going nowhere, yeah? And while we're on the topic of messy and dangerously unhealthy food videos, shout out to Devour Power TV for sharing with us the average delicacies of the USA. These videos are single-handedly keeping alive the stereotype of obese Americans, because what do you mean there are places that dip ice cream in butter and serve it to people? Like, oh yes, I've always wanted a way to make ice cream more unhealthy, thanks for asking. Also, something about the man being made of vodka sauce every time he makes a video about food that contains vodka sauce. And also, let's talk about this pizza video, about this pizza called the Sicilian Swine Fighter. This is just the epitome of doing too much. Like, bro, why so much pepperoni? Surely you could have cut down a little bit. Why did you add pepperoni from a second tray as if the first tray wasn't more than enough? The American stereotype is never gonna die. Ugh, what the hell? Why do you pour the oil into the ranch? Is this good? Is bro doing good? Gets into the hospital speedrun any percent? You can see it in his face. It'll be over soon. All I have to do is take a bite, say it's good, and never do it again. Wait, he made another video about this location? Oh, never mind. Maybe he is doing the gets into the hospital. And don't get me started on the dessert side of things. If you thought you've seen it all, wait until you've seen the Nutella... But side note though, why does he slide in every time he adds in an ice cream scoop?
Slide to the left.
And why did he add a syringe of peanut butter as if... Nah, we're done with this channel. I was gonna get into the milkshakes as well, but like, do I even need to at this point? And besides that, the normal looking food looks quite nice, and I love the dude's vibe throughout his videos, so overall I'd say his channel is quite good. Now, back to the bad ones. There isn't really anything lazier than just eating food and filming it for a bunch of people to see. Like, come on, this isn't even content. It's just you having a moderately good time that you felt the need to share with everyone for a drop of views and likes. And comments that talk about how good the food looks. So, this is almost as bottom of the barrel as one could get. So, what could be lower than this? It's something even lazier. Something that serves even less of a purpose. Something that requires even less effort. Something that is actually completely free. It costs no money, but it costs something worse. Your pride and dignity as a content creator. I'm of course talking about the people who repost other people's stuff without crediting them. Y'all don't know how often I be seeing these pieces of filth scattered around the internet when I'm clicking on videos of I've already seen many times before. Like, oh yes, I've always wanted to see some dude deep fry some unhealthy amalgamation for the 387th time, only to find out, wait, who's this? This isn't the same guy's channel. This is just some phony copying his whole flow. And when I check the comment section to see if there's anyone else who notices, the results vary. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and other times they just don't care. The reposters don't credit the original creators and even splice multiple videos together to make one singular short, and it's actually frying my brain. Like why are we going from grilled cheese with bacon or whatever into some other kind of sliced meat, and then we're looking at s'mores? What is this? Get out of here. Don't you stimulate me with that AI generated banner. You got 8.33 thousand subscribers and not a single one of them was earned. Hey, believe it or not, I just searched through my screenshots that I've had saved for a while now, and just found another food content thief, but on a much worse scale. So you know how the guy we just covered never gave credit to the guy he primarily stole content from? Well, what if that guy claimed that he was the guy from the video? Now, how insane would that be? So a thing that Zach Choi, the guy who's been getting his content tossed around like monkey in the middle, does in his shorts is that he cleans up the cutting board after he's done with a part of the cooking process. So after an unaware viewer commented on the video thinking it was the poser who cleaned up after himself, saying, "The way you clean every time?" Heart emoji. This dickhead, this snob, this thieving connive says, "Thank you so much. I always try to keep it clean." Son, civilian, folk, distant cousin, companion, chum, acquaintance, connection, gang. What the actual tenure? It just gets worse the deeper you go. Like, why are people like this allowed on this platform? I checked this channel and it's still up. I'm very confident that banner is also AI. It's just zero effort put into anything. I bet your mom picks out your clothes whenever you go outside because picking your own clothes would require you to be original, which is something you're simply incapable of. Who are you? What do you contribute? You get one viral video, then you feel like you belong, but the only place you belong is in the back of everyone's head. You're a memory, a lost, fleeting thought. I find it to be absolute cinema, the way your reposting antics dwindle in views for every subsequent upload. It's like the algorithm is telling you that this shit ain't gonna last, and clearly it isn't. Once you realize that stealing, the one thing you do, stopped working, your grind came to a halt. Sorry, your grind, in quotations. Heavy quotations.
There's just no fixing people like you, is there? You're just gonna keep on stealing and reposting and acting as though it's you who's been putting in the work and the hours, huh? If someone doesn't put a stop to this chicanery, then it'll just keep going, won't it? Without other creators to climb on top of, you are nothing. YouTube would be a better platform without people like you. Perish!
Okay. Dramatic ramblings aside, this is borderline plagiarism. I'm 99% sure this doesn't fall into fair use in any way, shape, or form. It isn't transformative in the slightest, no credit is given. In fact, these people act as though these videos are their own. Well, they're just that guy, but I'm sure there's many others doing the exact same thing. And if this were to happen to a smaller food creator who would really hate something like that happening to them, then it would have been an entirely different matter. I would have had to call my boy Jack's Films to make a video about it. We don't know each other. Okay, enough of these skunks. Let's talk about something that doesn't stink as much. Let's talk about arguably the most common types of food creators on YouTube. The ones who started it all. The actual cooking videos. They're like, hey guys, here's how you can make this food, and it's really easy, and they make the food, and if you follow the instructions, you can make them relatively easily. Or really easily if you're already good at cooking. They're quick, concise, easy, fun, all that good stuff. But what if we took it a step further? After all, one could only watch the same thing enough times before it gets boring. So that's why we've got some brilliant minds cooking up some shorts. Literally cooking up some shorts. Of them cooking videos with their own twists or gimmicks. We've got people doing skits, playing characters, and etc. This is probably my favorite section of the YouTube food shorts rabbit hole. Through this, I've got to see such amazing videos from people such as Albert Can Cook, and his recipes that would delight any Italian watching them. Patrick Zainali, the only 5 ingredients guy. Chef Rush, respect your food, damn it! Hold on. Respect your food, damn it! Why am I sweating? What the fuck? Bro, you know when your body just randomly sweats? Like, it's not even hot. Or maybe I'm hot. Yeah! Anyways, Nick DiGiovanni, he's pretty chill. Shelby, protect the culture. Max the meat guy. QCP, Buon appetito, bitch! Lionfield, 2 angry Italian men that will judge you on how you cook Italian food on the internet. Luke did that. Eats the spiciest food and goes, no reaction. Kinda like me.
Light work. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. Ah. Oh my god, the spice is getting stronger. So like I was saying, no reaction.
I'm glad he didn't overreact, am I right, guys? Louis Gantis, the baking ain't shit guy. Chef Tyler.
Cheese.
Bayashi.
Eat cheese every day.
And, oh, I think that's enough shoutouts for now. If you have any more that I missed, because I know I missed some, then feel free to comment them down below. What I'm trying to say is that people can make videos cooking and adding their own kind of twist or challenge to it, and I think it's brilliant. It's even better when multiple channels get with each other and make one collaborate short, where they can all show off their traits together. These videos are generally so peak. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with like normal cooking videos. Those are fine too, but you know, when you make it entertaining as well, then it adds to it. It makes it better. It's kind of what a twist is supposed to... Okay, let's move on. I guess this rabbit hole thing isn't all that bad. We may have some stinkers, but we also got some but we've also got some gems. And over time, I found myself being less drawn towards food shorts than I previously was, so I guess this problem is being relieved on its own. Maybe it's because I've overindulged so much to the point where my body has built up resistance to it, thus making the videos less enticing to me. Not to say they're bad or anything. Well, but that I'm just not as hopelessly addicted to them as I once was.
And the lesson of today's video is that whatever problem you're currently facing towards, no need to go out of your way to fix it, because it'll fix itself. Okay, this only sometimes works.
Alright, I think I only have one other thing to say about this corner of YouTube. I'm, of course, talking about the commenters. For each YouTuber, you can expect to see the same couple of comments on each of their videos. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with having like an inside joke. Like a bunch of YouTubers have that. And when I get big enough, I'm gonna have my own my own inside jokes that, you know, we can share with each other. But eventually these comments tend to get repetitive. Like a really repetitive. As in, it's to the point where where everybody's just saying the same stuff. If you've seen what I've seen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if I see one more person saying something along the lines of, AI taking people's jobs, X, bro's taking AI's jobs, ding! Or, I can hear two Italian men screaming, not approved! Or, first bite tastes like heaven, second bite takes you there. Or, no way he's gone this long without pulling out a deep fryer. Or actually any mention of deep frying in certain people's channels. Or anything about the food giving them a heart attack or diabetes. I'm actually gonna build a pipe bomb with only 5 ingredients and slide it into the mailbox of an unsuspecting victim.
Alright, let's check the mail. Whoa, is that a pipe bomb? Man, it's so cool. I wonder what happens.
Well, this has been quite the fun journey. There's some good and there's some bad. There's a ton of creativity, and there's a lack of it. It's kind of one or the other. You got some peak, some trash, and the filling in between. Nah, that one is kind of forced. Anyways, I've been Veloso Swagman, thank you for watching, here are my sub goals, and if this video reaches 1 million views before it becomes a year old, I will be trying the Reaper difficulty from Dave's Hot Chicken. Guaranteed! Other than that, yeah, that's basically it. See ya!
It's a wonderful Wenn hab einen Dauerrekorder, das war's der Taufe, was das war. Inferbrass, for it's a wonderful Inferbrass, for it's a wonderful
Now, I'm not gonna get out of here.